let's see what happens in this game. Okay, ends in a draw. Okay, we got the French defense, the exchange. Now, my experience, it's funny. This bishop belongs on e7. It has to do with the fact that white has pins down here. Maybe I covered this game. I don't know. Let's see. Let me look at the final position. No. Looks like he's okay. Okay. No, I'm pretty sure I didn't cover this one. So, black can only copy white so long.
Check.
And looking very, very drawish. Yeah, when you trade the queens off like that, this game becomes too even. C6 is warranted here. Okay, game is even. Okay, bishop is loose. Okay, so white has a minor lead in development. Why is this the case? It's because black has made an extra pawn move. But does white really have anything going here? Black is going to develop his pieces. This bishop is going to come out to g4, and this knight will develop too. So there's not much going on. Now, I don't understand this. You're behind in development. White can just slowly start improving his position here. Not enough to lose, but I don't understand the move. Phooey. Ugh. Now, this particular student knows how I frown on these rook pawn moves. What's he doing it for? I don't know. But it does limit where this bishop would go. Maybe he wanted to plug the file. But why do you want to make a tall pawn out of your bishop? Okay? That's what we wanted to do. That's why he played h6. But you see, the bishop has no future here. Okay, now we're getting very symmetrical again. If knight d7, the only thing different about the position will be the bishops. Okay, look at that. Mirror image. The only difference is the disposition of the bishops. Everything else is a perfect mirror. So, if you want to drive a French defense player nuts, you play the exchange variation against them, because they don't get to play their main ideas. But you don't. White doesn't have really good winning chances against it. Okay. So white to play. This looks reasonable. Takes the bishop. Game looks even. Now, this knight has no real future there, unless, well, maybe has something here. Menace this, which is protecting this. But it's going to run out of gas and gusto. I don't understand that move. I mean, what's wrong with white doubling rooks? There's one open file, right? Double rooks. Okay, now he says, go ahead, take my knight. I'll get the A file and the two bishops. Okay, so black is slightly better now because of the two bishops. And at some point, white's going to have to play that. Black can play this for a win. How do you do that? Well, you keep the bishops on the board. That's the first step. The second step is you trade rooks, both sets. And then the two bishops can really outduel a bishop and knight. I've talked about this before. It bears repeating. There's a book called Endgame Strategy by Shereshevsky. The last name is spelled just like Sammy Reshevsky spelled his, except it has an SHE on the beginning. Okay, Shereshevsky. He has a chapter on the two bishops and shows, it's just amazing what the two bishops can do versus a bishop and knight. Doesn't mean black will win, but he's still got to play it well. But that's the strategy here. So this might be a little premature. We'll restrain the pawn advances. Let's come back to the E file and try to find squares for the bishops to go to open up this file. And this does undouble the black pawn, so I'm not, it's probably an okay strategy, but let's get the rooks off. Okay, that's fine. That prepares to get a rook over here. Okay, this is too early. Okay, this does, this is the move. We want to trade rooks. That's the priority. The quicker you do that, the quicker the winning chances you have. So by advancing the pawn, they become a little exposed. Now, this is still the idea. There you go. Good job. Okay, now we can't move the bishop because we'll drop the pawn. So, we should have been bringing that bishop back a little sooner. I don't know. Maybe in a way it's stuck defending that silly pawn, and White's trying to play against it. That was why we shouldn't have played c5 and let White open up the d file. Now he's after that pawn. Okay, so now the pawns are kind of stopped in their tracks. We still can't retreat the bishop to offer a rook trade, although the file is closed by that knight. But we can find ways to evict that knight, get an eventual f5 in, or f4. Okay. Looking for new ways to trade rooks. I would take with the rook. Now, we want to head for a rook and pawn ending. I'm sorry. We don't want to head for a rook and pawn ending. We want to head for 2 bishops versus 2 knights. Now, this does attack the b pawn, but we can attack that later. It's not going anywhere. Okay. Now the advantage of the 2 bishops is forever gone. So if this was the move, maybe we consider b6 we might want to drop into a5 at some point. But the key was to go for the 2 bishops versus the bishop and knight. And now the game looks very, very, very drawish. So we can trade rooks now, but it's bishop versus bishop, and that's a draw. Now black can play this, or white can play that. That'll just probably lead to a draw. That's what he does. Now here, black is going to accept a weakness in his pawn structure, although it's probably not enough to win for white. Now he says, I don't know, this could be tricky. He doesn't take, but I'm going to minimize this. He doesn't take, but this pawn can be blocked. Now, white's going to force a pass pawn here. Black gets to yo-yo his king. You don't want to go this way. This come in here. Here comes the pass pawn. Now, is this enough? Now the threat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 moves. White has a queen. 1, 2, 3. Well, let's do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ouch. I think white had a win there. If he trades rooks. Because these pawns are blockaded. See, this is coming. The moment you go this way, this is coming in. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 moves. White has a queen. Black can't get one that quick. Maybe he can. Let's see. You better come up with something quick here, black, or it's not going to happen. See, king is stuck. He can't go any further. So this was the losing move, but white didn't do it. It's one of the reasons we don't want to take weaknesses in our positions. it causes you to potentially lose games. Now he gives up a pawn. He doesn't want it. Why doesn't he want the pawn? Doesn't white have all the winning chances now? I'm not saying black can't draw, but black has to prove it. So it's the drawback of letting the pawns get weakened. Now the pawn is safe.
Check.
And now it just seems now black could probably, or white could probably just start checking him to death. But this just has draw written all over it. And that's what they're going to agree to shortly. Black has the better position, but he doesn't have any way to break through. And they're going to agree to a draw here shortly. There it is. Draw. So white had winning chances there. Okay, let me stop the recording.